Welcome back to News Insights. We're going to Rivers State. Hello, guys.
Good morning once again.
Ibas.
Rivers, always in the news.
With another kind of warning, and he's praising himself for having been very, very accommodating to the protests. A lot of protests are ongoing, and a lot of letters, flying about, because the Rivers people want democratic institutions in Rivers State, just like any other state in Nigeria. But Ibas is saying that he was appointed sole administrator. We've said it on this table. Sole administrator, so no limit go do him. But then with sweeping powers, but he's even not using them. And he's sending out a warning that people should be restrained. They should exercise restraint in all their activities, and that they should trust the process that they are making efforts to bring back the democratic institution. Do you think Rivers people will heed this warning, or the protest would continue?
I mean, the protest should continue. Sometimes I feel sorry for the sole administrator of Rivers State, Ibas. He didn't ask for this. He was thrown into a troubled water, and he didn't help himself by utterances he made. One of it, which is out there, is that he came to restore the state to where we left it. There are two factions. You don't take side.
Exactly.
That first means that showed you've taken side.
That's political.
Yes, you've taken side.
Yeah.
So that didn't help him at all. So yes, you'll be giving sweeping power, as I said. But people have right to protest. It's a constitutional right to protest as long as it's not violent.
After the power that he got came from Constitution. At least President claimed to have got the power from Constitution.
And you don't train people that they should not test their will. They are airing their view. They are protesting against what they feel is wrong. Rivers State has been wronged. I don't expect them to sit quiet. They've not come shooting. And he said something that took me aback. Saying he's trying to restore democracy. Rivers State, how?
you truncated democracy.
Yeah. There has been democracy in that state before he came. What are you restoring? So he shouldn't threaten people. They have a right to protest as long as it remains peaceful and non-violent. I should know the people's temperature about this is this thing is not accepted by every other person.
That's right.
Everybody has spoken up.
Yeah.
So I hope that our president will do what is needful and cut this short, and let's move on.
Kingsley, I don't know if you've looked at that and see how Rivers people will be able to probably sit back and allow Ibas do what they want to do, or continue with their protest so that Ibas can retire like he was retired before.
If I carry gun now and come to your house in the night, will you treat me and make me comfortable?
No.
Ibas being put there as the sole administrator in River is illegal. Yesterday, today, and forever. And if the Rivers people keep quiet, I would think they are foolish. That's the real truth. The only problem is that those elders of Rivers that have refused to come out and talk.
A few people that spoke, few people, wicked took a swipe at them.
You see, I've said it. The lepers that made food. He said that if we stay here, we die. If we go to the other side, we die.
So let's go.
So what have they always believed? That a wicked that they groomed has now become so large that he wants to kill all of them. That's number one. Number two, the people of Rivers are coming out and saying, we don't want Ibas. We have had absolute military control, rulership in this country. SAP 1987, people came out. Those that died. Yeah. But they came out and stood against the military. Yeah. 1993, June 12 election, it was purely military. People came out. I mean, some were hurled into exile, but they didn't mind. They stood up. Is it now that it's one small state?
Just one state.
Where you have an illegal administration that is telling them, what will he do to them? Will he kill all of them?
There's nothing he can do, actually.
Will he kill them?
There's nothing.
The military team is speaking out.
Look, number one, they are not even violent.
They are not violent.
They are not violent. They are not destroying properties. So what will you do?
Peter, let me just say, there's this letter written, because more protests, people are actually galvanizing for more protests.
Yes.
There's an open letter written to the president by Nadeco USA. I think people from Rivers or so
Yes.
that are members of Nadeco USA.
They have a particular body,
Yes.
which Nadeco is ingrained in.
Yeah, so they wrote an open letter to the president. It's a long letter. We won't be able to go through that. But there's a particular section that I am interested in. He said, we urge you, they were talking to the president, we urge you to respect the quasi-autonomy. Quasi-autonomy is near autonomy. Quasi-autonomy, which is actually what a state is in a federation. You know, quasi-autonomy of river states, and allow the democratic process to proceed without interference. The people of river states have the right to self-determination. You see, when you push people forward, they move forward.
Yeah.
You can't push people and expect them not to move. Before Ibas came in, nobody was talking about Rivers State people having right of self-determination or not.
Yes.
They were only talking about Fubara presenting budget
Budgets.
or Fubara not presenting budget. Now, people of Rivers State are reminding Asiwaju that people of Rivers have right to self-determination and to choose their leaders without external influence. Ibas is an external influence. They are reminding Asiwaju and telling him to reverse this process immediately. This is a very strong voice. Do you think Asiwaju, this pressure is heaping on Asiwaju on the state of emergency in Delta, in Rivers State?
I honestly believe that he will act soon. I honestly believe that this thing will not survive in the next 2 months. But the pressure on a daily basis is mounting. It's increasing. And people are beginning to join the movement. And I pray that it does not become a movement.
Yeah.
It could snowball into something bigger.
Yeah.
So, presidency, please come in and let's create this. But my issue now is that Fubara is elected for 4 years tenure. He has lost 1 month. What happens to it?
No, we don't want to get into that. We said it before
He has
that
lost 1 month
Fubara
plus.
might come back, and there could not be, and it's possible, depends on the court, and if he decides to go to court or decides to waive it. Remember, it happened in Delta.
Yeah.
There was an interim governor in Delta. There's no off-cycle election in Delta because there's a way they interpreted that one. So we don't know what will happen here. If this thing continues, Fubara say, oh, you took so month from me, then election. So let's not get into that. So now, these people are talking about that reminding the president that Rivers people are to choose who will govern themselves, not external influence.
Let me read.
Not Asiwaju.
Let me give you quasi-autonomy.
Yeah.
A state of self-governance
Yes.
that is not fully independent,
Yes.
but also not fully
Integrated, yes.
into a larger system.
That is the state.
I've always said it.
Yes.
I said Nigeria is what you call a federating state.
A federating state, yes.
Don't forget the 1914
Yes.
Lord Lugard amalgamation of Nigeria.
Yes.
They were regions of their own. The North was on its own. In the North, they adopted what they call a complete indirect rule system because of the structure they met on ground.
Yeah.
In the East, it was not successful. Remember the Aba riot of 1922.
Yeah.
And even in the West, don't forget the Abeokuta
Yeah.
uprising.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have most of these structures on ground. So they created a federating system.
Yeah.
First of all, 3 regions at independence.
Yeah.
63, Republic was formed.
Yeah.
They had another 4th region, which is the Midwest. Then I think Gowon brought 12 states.
Eventually, where Midwest and all
Where
those
Midwest
ones,
and
that's
all-
another comment.
Now, these things have evolved over time. It's a federating
States.
The election is done to choose a governor of a state.
Let me tell you where they don't get it. We keep seeing Nigeria because of our desire to have one Nigeria and unity. We are missing it entirely. River State is as is. They are facing external aggression.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
As River State is.
That's what it is.
If you are not from there, if the people didn't choose you, you shouldn't be ruling them.
Yes.
The thing that concerns all other nations, we are going to be using one passport. That's why we're a federation. Had it been we are co-federation, there's another level, weaker one called co-federation. Like you have FIFA, you have United Nations. The individuals and the members of that body they have their different passports. They have their different currency. They could choose to use the same. They could use to choose, but they have their different identity. What puts us together? We have the same passport, the same military, the same order, but our government is different. That's why we have state legislature. Almost everything you have in federal, they are repeated,
including
in the states.
judiciary.
Including judiciary.
Yeah.
So how come Asiwaju, a Democrat, decided to use this method to solve a political crisis in Rivers State?
He said to solve, has he solved the problem? He has not solved the crisis.
He decided to use it to solve, but he didn't. He didn't solve it yet.
We're still questioning, where did he get the power from? Which part of constitution gave him the power to dissolve an elected arm of government? A president was elected by filtration.
Yeah.
But a state, a section, elected their own president in terms of governor, elected Fubara to govern them, to take control of the state. So where did you decide the right to what? To remove this elected governor? See, they chose him because they know him. They felt that he can lead the state aright. And they chose what do they call it? House of Assembly, Senate of Assembly, to control the governor. So why push all of them aside? So you can declare state of emergency or River State on a particular issue.
You don't need to remove governor,
Come and take care of security.
Jonathan has done it. Jonathan has done it. In the notice before, Jonathan has done it. So let's with our time is running very, very fast. Let me draw your attention to that letter I read before. There is also a fraction of it that is calling on the president, not necessarily the president as it is now, a thorough investigation on the advice that the president relied on to take this decision. He said these people demanded full investigation to identify those responsible for misleading the president and plunging the state into what they called political uncertainty. Who are those involved?
Okay, first of all the essays that surround the president, including the legal advisor, from the ministry, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, they will look at the Constitution and see the powers the president can have. But because our time is fast spent, we cannot explain further. But what I will advise the president, he should heed the voice of the people. Everybody that has spoken. It should not look as if they are speaking against me. No. Secondly, I want to advise Ibas. Ibas should manage the people instead of trying to threaten the people. Threatening them is not going to work. Managing
he
them,
said he's doing that is
he
shouldn't be pushed to the wall.
He's talking when people push you to the wall.
The question is, what are you even doing there?
What are you going to do if they push you to the wall? You should manage the people, knowing that you tell them, I'm here for your sake. I'm not here, I'm here for a time. And he should not do things that look as if he's here for eternity, dissolving boards and doing things. People are against that. He should manage the people.
All right, like I said the other time, when there is no work to do, you look for work for yourself. A bus probably got to River State. There was no crisis. There was nothing to call for state of emergency, so he's looking for functions. So that's why he's calling calm, doing all that. That is just it. Peter, our time is fast spent. 30 seconds. He said Ibas should manage the people. What do you think Ibas should do rather than?
I think he should be careful with rhetorics. He should not incite the people.
Yes.
He should not incite the people. They are being peaceful now. Let them have their peace.
All right. I think that's it. Ibas was the one that actually placed himself on the side of Wike when he started, like you said, by saying, I've come to restore the state back to where Wike. So not recognizing the democratic process that brought Fubara, that was bad enough. And I think he should probably apologize to the Rivers people for that statement, or, like you said, going forward, don't say anything anymore. Don't say anything anymore. If you have 3 more days, 4 more days, 5 more days, according to the president, to stay there, don't say anything anymore. Be sure that there is peace in River. And those who are protesting peacefully, peace is peace. Do not make it to be violent. All right. That's our take on River State concerning a bus warning or telling people to exercise restraint in what they do. This is News Insight. We'll be right back.